Good morning, all of you. Birbal, good morning. Anisa, good morning. Jai Jagannath. Today is 8th July and we'll discuss national, international news. So those who are online, please confirm audio and video both are working fine. And please share this video with your friends as well so that we can start the session. Okay, so let's start. Today's news, trade union. We'll discuss the trade union, BRICS, women and MSME, Myanmar ethnic crisis, rule revision. Okay, these are the national, international news. Good morning, Samir. So first is trade union. Over 30 crore workers, farmers will join strike against government policy, says trade union. Okay, so let's see what about the trade unions and all. July 9, nationwide strike where over 25 crore workers and farmers are expected to walk out in protest. A coalition of 10 central trade unions including INTUC, AITUC, HMS, C2, AICCTU, AIUTUC, TUCC, SEWA, LPF, UTUAC has called a Bharat Bandh general strike for July 9. Expected participation over 25 crore, including formal, informal, rural laborers, farmers join banners like Sanyukta Kisan Morcha. Okay, so there would be a nationwide protest on 9th July by these trade unions, farmers organization. Okay, nationwide protest. Demand corner, demand dekhiba core demand. Withdrawal of the 4 labor codes. Workers allege this dilute rights to collective bargaining, social security and the right to strike. In India, it was around 45 labor laws. It was around 45 labor laws. So government of India rationalized this 45 labor laws with 4 labor codes. Okay, in summary, let me tell you, the 45 labor laws is all about the labor rights regarding what at a particular workplace. For example, hiring of a labor, firing of a labor, social security benefits, salary, that means payment, all those have been included in the what we call the labor laws. 45 labor laws, this is something interesting. Now, thank you 45 labor laws tila, because as we know that our economy, the nature of the economy was more of socialistic oriented during the 1950s. Socialistic या socialism जदि हमें कहबा, then it more of protecting the labor interest, more of protecting the labor rights. That is the reason 45 labor laws were there in our country. So gradually by the amendment through this rationalizing the labor laws, amending, government of India has decided or started implementing this 4 labor codes. Now, what is the difference between these two? Jadi apan dekhibe 45 labor means, that means it's a kind of apan kohi paribe regulation, restriction with respect to the investment by the private companies, industries or corporates. Tamane it's a kind of while protecting the labor interest, it's a kind of difficulty for the investors to invest more, or it's you can say it is against the ease of doing business. Simple, let me tell you. Through 4 labor codes means what? Rationalizing the labor laws. Ame bartaman kon karuchu? Easy to hire, easy to fire. Okay. I mean ଏବେ ଦେଖିବେ ଆପଣଙ୍କ the nature of job has been changed. More jobs have been created in the unorganized sector. Unorganized sector for example ଯେମିତି ଏବେ ଦେଖିବେ जो digital platform through रे let's say e-commerce companies जो स्विगी आम जो गीग वर्कर्स है गीग इकोनॉमी बोली कहूचे दीज आर मोर ऑफ अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर एंड दैट इज पॉसिबल ड्यू टू दिस इजी लेबर लॉस बिकॉज स्ट्रिक्टर लेबर लॉस even if it is protecting the labor interest but something negatively impacts the job creation or interest of the entrepreneur. तेणु गोटे company, गोटे investor, गोटे manufacturer will think twice before it invest in the economy. कारण this company has to compliance जो 45 law थिला तांको सबु गुडिक तांको strictly follow करबा को पड़तला which is kind of very difficult to comply. Okay, तो सेति पई को जाउची if we want to make the investment easy, if we want to make the setting of the companies easy, तब हमको labor law को flexible करबा को पड़िबो rather than the rigid labor laws. तो rigid labor laws is the symbol of or the feature of the socialist economy और जो labor code आमे आनि के आस्तले that is pro market economy type रो जोटा कि entrepreneur मानकर जो I mean flexibility रहिबो in terms of hiring, firing, deciding the wages etc. That is the reason now government has also started lots of social security measures for those unorganized sector. जेमती श्रम portal we have started कि those all unorganized sector people will register in the श्रम portal. That means after registration they will all get all those benefits provided by the government of India. Now question is मैं आपको गोटे छोटो एग्जांपल देवी before 1991 if you see if a company was making a loss so rather than shutting it down or rather than ताको बंद करी न करी की what government was doing, government was nationalizing those industries. Now what is the logic behind it? काहे कि सरकार by burning the taxpayers money से गोटे loss making companies को rationalize कहीं को nationalized कहीं करूची. The reason होची to protect the labor interest because if the company will be shut down then obviously those labor force will be unemployed, they will lose the job. That is the logic 91 पूर्वरु थला. But in this liberalization era things have changed. We are going more for the privatization having labor laws को हमें धीरे-धीरे flexible यानी कि easy करी जाउछु so that it is easier for the investor point of view or the business point of view or ease of doing business हमें कोई परिबा. Okay, तेणु collective bargaining कहार weak हेची, laborers मानकर weak हेची, social security laborers मानकर weak हेची and the right to strike and protest laborer मानकर weak हेची because India is known for its strong trade union because of this कि socialist जो nature थिला till 1991. Stopping privatization of PSUs and public services. Public services और PSUs गुडी को जो हमें privatize करूचे consistently हमें either हमें कौन करूचे disinvestment करूचे disinvestment in the sense selling of shares in the government sector or public sector units or 50% more than कला परे हमें ताको privatize भी completely करूचे जिम्ती many banks have been privatized जिम्ती Air India have been privatized. Okay, ये गोटे factor. Regularization of contractual employment. तो बर्तमान आपण देखिबे contractual employments gradually बढ़ी the jobs in the contractual segment has been increased. Regularized in the sense कि जो fixed थिला कि आपण करो once you have been hired then you will be hired for the next 30 years or 33 years or till 60 years जो हमर अछि provision. Now होजी contractual, every year your contracts will be renewed on the basis of your performances, otherwise you will be replaced by someone. So ये जो contractual employment अछि एटा को हमें regularize करबा को चेष्टा करूचे. Restoration of the old pension scheme पूर्वरु जोटा थिला NPS पूर्वरु जोटा लागू थिला and higher minimum wages 28,000 per month demand for the scheme workers. Okay, तेणु minimum wage को भी मध्य increase करबा पई demand आसुची so that better living standard in this I mean turbulent economy आपण कहि परिबे. Addressing rural distress exactly कोन ना rural distress एते पय हम कहूचे एक तो rural economy is completely depending on the agricultural economy, but agriculture sector in our country itself in distress because of the I mean due to this climate change कही परिबे, untimely rainfall कही परिबे, monsoon रो जो fluctuations होची, so MGNRGA expansion यानी कि more people would come under the MGNRGA, more number of days work under the MGNRGA, revising the wages under MGNRGA, MSP guarantee, minimum support price guarantee. Actually if you see minimum support price जो 24 जो अपन को क्रॉप्स अच्छी इंक्लूडिंग द सुगर केन, ऑल्दो सुगर केन ने वी डू अनाउंस एमआरपी जोटा आपनकर मिनिमम जो रेम्युनरेटिव प्राइस जोटा थाए, बट एठी होची आपनकर सपोर्टिव प्राइस जो एमएसपी जोटा रहउची से केस रे फार्मर्स माने कौन डिमांड अच्छी लगातार 2020 ऑनवर्ड्स यू विल सी दिस प्रोटेस्ट ऑफ द फार्मर्स रिगार्डिंग द गारंटी ऑफ एमएसपी. They are asking for the legal guarantee in the sense, sorry मु अपन को MRP कहल ना sugar cane, that is FRP, sorry, fair and remunerative price. तो इमाने demand करूचंदी legal guarantee of MSP. Legal guarantee means legalizing MSP must be implemented through a law. काहेंकि MSP they are demanding as a legal guarantee पाई, because MSP although has been announced by the government from time to time or basically before the harvesting season starts, but कोनोसी private trader को जतोले farmers are selling those products, they are not getting the MSP price. This is their concern, because once it will be legalized, then no trader can deny to purchase those products at the MSP. This is what exactly they are demanding. Social security, farmers and the rural workers, for example, let's say minimum wages, kind of a pension, health insurances, those facilities they are demanding. Why matters? Why it matters? Signals deep worker and rural concern over recent economic and labor policies set. तो जो लगातार भावरे at least from last 10 years, whatever laws have been implemented at the rural India or in the rural economy, people in the sense the labor force, the workers, or what you call the farmers, they are not satisfied. Seen as anti-worker or anti-farmer or pro-corporate. Basically, they are saying it's kind of a pro-corporate kind of mechanism. यदि आपण देखिबे जो तीनोटी लॉ आसीथिला फार्मर्स रो, गोटे सेठी लॉ थिला जोटा कि कॉन्ट्रैक्ट फार्मिंग को प्रमोट करथला, यानी कि investment by the private sector in the agriculture. Okay, but it was withdrawal after a long protest by the farmers. तो basically सेटा कोन थला, से कहउथले कि कॉन्ट्रैक्ट फार्मिंग रे जेतले प्राइस को फिक्स करा जिवो, व्हाट वुड बी दैट बेसिस. तो सेटी प्रोविजन कोन थला, सिंपली ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ डिमांड एंड सप्लाई. दैट मीन्स द नेगोशिएशन बिटवीन द ट्रेडर एंड द फार्मर. सो फार्मर्स माने कहउचंदी व्हेनेवर जेमती रिलायंस मार्ट हे गला कि अदानी हो रिलायंस जो बड़ बड़ कंपनी, when they are coming to procure food grains from the farmer, they are the large companies, they have lawyers ये सब अच्छी. सो जदि सेमान सहित किसी डिस्प्यूट हुए, फार्मर कैन हैंडल इट, कैन नॉट मैनेज इट, एंड देयर इज नो सच प्रोटेक्शन गिवन बाय द गवर्नमेंट विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू एनी काइंड ऑफ डिस्प्यूट अंडर द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट फार्मिंग. दिस इज वन एस्पेक्ट. सेकेंड एस्पेक्ट, सिंपली फार्मर्स आर आस्किंग कि जो प्राइस फिक्स हम बिटवीन दिस फार्मर एंड ट्रेडर विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट फार्मिंग जोटा आम कहूचे बिफोर द हार्वेस्टिंग सीजन दे विल हैव ए कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. तो से कॉन्ट्रैक्टर प्राइसटा एमएसपी बेसिस रे ही डिसाइड होबो या सिंपली नेगोशिएशन, बट से भली किछि कुआ जाय नथला. देयर वाज नो सच मेंशन ऑफ दिस काइंड ऑफ कंडीशन एक्सप्लिसिटली इन दैट लॉ. तेणु से इट वाज ए काइंड ऑफ फियर अमंग द फार्मर्स कि एमएसपी जदि ओ मेंशन नाही तेबे कोन होबो ना हम सहित नेगोशिएशन करिवे, बार्गेनिंग करिवे, एंड फार्मर्स आर स्कैटर्ड इन नेचर इन इंडिया. तेणु सेमानकर बार्गेनिंग इज काफी वीक इन इंडिया. तेणु सेमान को काफी low price रे सेमाने purchase करिवे. This was another fear among the farmers. That was the reason सेमाने demand कले, and finally those three laws have been withdrawn. Raises key policy faultiness, for example labor rights हो, privatization हो, farmer welfare हो, employment assurance हो. So they are asking to revise those policies and all. Okay. Then reflects growing unrest both organized and informal sector, including scheme-based workers. Unrest in the sense organized and informal regarding अपनकर social security measures हो, regarding अपनकर informal जेमती कोइली for example farmers are not happy with respect to that. Laborers माने देखुचंदी more contractual laborers या work ही बाहरुची, there is no such fixed appointment एभली किछि नाही, regularized करा जाऊ नाही. So that is the reason they are simply demanding. अच्छा, trade union perspective रो जदे देखिबे in our syllabus there is a topic pressure group. Okay, so let's see. So trade union are considered as pressure group is an organized group that seeks to influence public policy, or to change the public policy and decision without contesting election. So trade unions, they are not part of this electoral politics. They do not contest election, but they can put pressure on the government with respect to change in policy and decision. Unlike the political parties, they do not aim to gain power, but to persuade those in power to take decision in their favor. So they simply try to influence or try to persuade कि जो law या policies होना जाऊँची that must be in our favor. That was the objective of the pressure group. Now coming to the feature, they do not seek direct power. They do not want to get direct power or seek direct power, because direct power is only route is to that is electoral politics, right? Try to influence legislation, law, policy, administration. They try to influence because they want all these things would be in favor of their interest. Operate at the central, state and local levels. May use lobby, protest, media, litigation, etc. PIL भी किसी अच्छी फाइल करंदी, किसी lobby भी करंदी, protest करंदी. Represent specific interests, that is economic, social, professional and environmental. Okay, तो ये होची pressure group रो feature. आपण कहि परिबे functions देखंतु केमती function करंती या operate करंती. ये simply you can say modus operandi. First होची lobby. They keep on lobbying the ministers, bureaucrats or government machineries so that influence their policy, okay, or that policy should be in their favor. Mobilizing public opinion. So after this protest, you will see people will try to people will also understand and people support they will get. Litigation, PIL, judiciary samane file करंदी. Expertise sharing for policy formulation. So once they will present the farmers आपण देखिबे, farmers union and protesting. So government is negotiating with the farmers by inviting those representatives of the farmers union so that they will also keep their opinion in front of the government machinery. तो सेमानको opinion सुनला पर they will have a consensual kind of a policy. So acting as a watchdog on government performance, watchdog in the sense they keep an eye on the performance of the government, they keep an eye on the legislation, policy, schemes of the government. Okay. So these are the functions. So if there would be a question, what is pressure group, what are the features or what are the functions? So you can simply write this. Moving to the next, BRICS, India will give new form of BRICS in 2026, Prime Minister Modi. India's vision to redefine BRICS in 2026. What is the meaning of it? PM Modi proposed reframing BRICS under India's 2026 presidency. That means next year, India is going to preside the BRICS, building resilience and innovation for the cooperation and sustainability, emphasizing a shift towards collaborative growth, modernization, and shared responsibility. Collaborative growth means every country would help others in terms of economic growth, okay, sustainable growth, etc. Modernization, be it technological change or technological aspect. Next which is shared responsibility. Shared responsibility in the sense maybe in terms of trade action ho, maybe environmental concern ho, whatever maybe the peace or problem it is the responsibility of everyone. Okay, shared responsibility. It's not the responsibility of a single country, rather shared responsibility. Achha. Humanity first and climate justice. देखिए, Modi described climate justice as a moral duty, not merely an option, trying Earth's well-being to human health. Simple जिनसे होची जेतोले हमरो डिसेंबर रे ना अपकमिंग डिसेंबर रे क्लाइमेट समिट हवार अछि. climate summit. I think जो COP Conference of Parties 30 climate summit हवार होचे. So these developing or emerging countries, they are simply uniting themselves. At least they will have a negotiation in that climate summit. So climate justice in the sense developing or underdeveloped countries, खास करके southern hemisphere countries, they are developing countries and they are the victim of climate change. Okay, so needs to be provide justice to them, and who will provide that? Obviously responsible countries are the developed countries. That is the reason India ho kimba other developing countries, they are simply bargaining with those developed countries to seeking or they are seeking this climate justice. He affirmed that BRICS under India would adopt a humanity first approach, building on lessons from the G20 presidency. G20 presidency, it was, India was quite appreciated. ଯେମିତି ଆପଣ ଦେଖିବେ G20 ରେ ଆମେ ଆଫ୍ରିକାନ୍ ୟୁନିୟନ को भी include କରିଥିଲେ. That was really good job. କାହିଁକି ଆଫ୍ରିକାନ୍ ୟୁନିୟନ को include କରାଗଲା? Because India wants to become the voice of the South. କାରଣ ଆଫ୍ରିକା ପୁରା underdeveloped developing countries. तो ସେଥିପାଇଁ ସେମାନେ they are considering this कि G20 ରେ ଏମାନଙ୍କର ବି voice ରହିବା ଦରକାର. So similarly, BRICS also wants this what? Humanity first approach. Okay. Humanity first approach in the sense कि जेमती हमें climate summit discuss करूचे, trade dispute जो बर्तन चली ची, tariff counter tariff जो retaliatory tariff जो चली ची, से भीतर we need to find the humanity first. For example, let me tell you, जो India and US भीतर जो trade negotiation चली ची, what is the impact of that? If India accepts every conditions of the US, then you will find most of the industries in India will be destroyed. I mean, the sectors will be destroyed. First sector would be the dairy sector would be hampered sabutu adhika and it would be hampered maximum and it would be destroyed. Kahinki they are looking for this market access of India's dairy sector. Okay. Similarly, they are also asking for the automobile. They are also asking for the liquor market ko bhi sevana target kurchindi. So if they will flood with those cheaper, better quality products, भाई consumer manangar कौन होची? Consumer रो काम कौन? Why China was successful in India in terms of capturing the market? Because we need cheaper and better quality products. Okay, so better quality नहले भी cheaper we need. तो China was quite successful. So these developed countries are also targeting the similar kind of market access in India. तो आमे किंतु आमरो interest को protect करिवार होची. हमारे जो millions of women are working in the dairy sector, we have to protect their interest. Millions of people are working in the automobile sector, we have to protect their interest. तो ସେଥିପାଇଁ humanity first approach नहीं कि हमें चालू छे. Focus on AI governance and आपनकर critical minerals. What is the meaning of this? India urged BRICS to collaborate on responsible AI framework. Artificial intelligence should be a blessing on the humanity rather the bane. ତେଣୁ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ଜିନିଷଟାକୁ ଯେମିତି ଏବେ ଦେଖିବେ କି AI କୁ ନେଇକି ଆମର କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ ବି ଆସିଥିଲା boon or bane, କାରଣ କିଛି କହୁଛନ୍ତି bane, କିଛି କହୁଛନ୍ତି boon. So this is what we need to make it blessings or boon for the humanity, not the bane. Ethical innovation, announcing AI impact summit to be held in India next year. So AI रो impact summit भी होगा and ethical aspect को ही हमें अधिक focus करिबा rather than this misusing this technology. Modi also highlighted securing critical mineral supply chains essential for the green technology, EVs and battery ecosystem. This is what a significant movement, because critical minerals, what you call the rare earth elements, we are what you call जो सबुठु अधिका शेयर अपने जानी चाहिए चाइना पाखे रही and China is that type of country से किसी भी करी पर I mean it is the kind of a moody जिनते आप कहते हैं ना moody country China से type. So due to this disruption in the supply chain with respect to rare earth elements, we need to look into other sources of this rare earth elements. I mean we cannot completely rely on the China. We need to diversify our basket with respect to that. So these BRICS countries can help India and among themselves as well. Global health and earth connection. Modi underscored the interplay between planetary health and human well-being, recommending integrated efforts across climate action and global healthcare. Climate and health it's complementary, it's very much correlated in nature. Better climatic condition will have a better healthcare facilities. ତେଣୁ ସେଇ ଜିନିଷକୁ ବି ମଧ୍ୟ focus କରାଯାଉଛି. Science Research Repository and New Development Bank focus. Expanded cooperation via BRICS, Science and Research Repository, and a strengthened demand-driven NDV supporting Global South development. NDV supporting in the what you call the New Development Bank, sorry. New Development Bank. This is a bank which has been set up by the BRICS countries in 2014. New Development Bank was set up. It was simply countering or simply contradicting this IMF and World Bank's values. Because IMF, World Bank, whenever you go for a loan, they simply come with a conditions, because without conditions, they generally do not give any loan. So to escape from this conditional loan and conditions, those conditions are generally, if you see, who is that country behind these conditions? Those Western countries dominated by the US. Basically, these US dominated countries or Western countries, they try to like impose those ideologies of capitalism. That is the reason they are looking for the alternative, and that alternative can be this New Development Bank. So the New Development Bank will help in terms of South development or Global South development. Okay. Strategic implication for India, rebranding BRICS from a traditional economic bloc to a modern innovation-driven coalition. So, kebol economic bloc nuhe, we need to have a modern innovation-driven coalition. Leadership in climate justice as well. Discuss climate justice. We have a strong bargaining power in front of the developed countries to protect the interest of the southern hemisphere countries or the developing countries. Governance stance and AI, placing India as a key voice in ethical tech regulation with respect to the artificial intelligence. Resource security, addressing supply chain vulnerabilities in critical minerals. Okay. तेणु AI गोटे बर्तमान चैलेंज, तेणु जेहेतु डेवलप कंट्रीज ताकू इनोवेट करिकी या पे टेक्नोलॉजी या ताकू रेगुलेट करिकी से काफी खुशी होचन. सो व्हाट अबाउट डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज? वी नीड टू हैव ए कोलैबोरेशन विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू दैट. क्लाइमेट मिनरल्स वी नीड टू लुक फॉर अल्टरनेटिव. ग्लोबल हेल्थ इंटीग्रेशन, linking environmental and public health priorities, climate change plus healthcare system. South-South cooperation, reinforcing global South unity through research and finance. Okay, South-South cooperation. Moving to the next, women and MSMEs. Analysis of the challenges faced by the women-led MSMEs in accessing credit. So this paper is particularly analyzing the challenges faced by the women-led MSMEs in accessing credit. Credit means, जमती आपने जानी थी भाई, अमर गोटे एक स्कीम अच्छी SSG banking linkage. SSG bank linkage scheme. That means SSGs, those who are performing well, they will be given easy credit facilities to expand their business venture or entrepreneurship. So despite government schemes and financing, it is very poor in nature. Let's see. Reasons kono. First, credit gap and lower share in lending. Women-led MSMEs represent around 20% of the total MSMEs, but receive only 7% of outstanding MSME credit. So 20% women-led MSMEs kahingi because of this, revolution in terms of this Mission Shakti, Subhadra Shakti type. This Mission Shakti is all over India. Okay. So due to this dominancy of women, one is BRICS will never go for the military pact. Military pact would be countering the NATO, right? And military pact would be considered as a negative kind of thing. So, जो countries for the benefits economically, technically, technologically, environmental cooperation पाई एमानक से connect करूँचंदी, they may not come on the basis of this military ground, because military ground means you are countering or you are challenging simply the US hegemony. Plus, militarily again is not possible because India and China are there. Okay, India China militarily pact kebe bhi karibe nahi, because both are enemy countries. Okay, ତେଣୁ ମିଲିଟାରୀ ପାକ୍ଟ obviously କେବେ ବି କରିବେ ନାହିଁ. They will go for economic cooperation. And ଆଜି ପେପରରେ ଆସିଛି 10% tariff US ट्रम्प अनाउंस की सबू ब्रिक्स कंट्रीज ऊपर 10% टैरिफ इंपोज करा जाओ बिकॉज ऑफ दिस ब्रिक्स समिट एंड ऑल. तेणु they won't go for this military pact, rather they would keep themselves with respect to climate, economic, technologically इस सब जिनस रे समाने निजको लिमिट रखिबे. Okay, so receiving only 7% of outstanding MSME credit, IFSC estimates a credit gap of 158 billion US dollar or 12 lakh crore for the women entrepreneurs. Collateral and property barrier. Most women lack title assets required by the banks, making them dependent on collateral offered by others. Okay, so collateral or what you call the mortgage, because these women, they do not have this collateral or mortgage at least to get a loan from a bank. This is what is another challenging factor. The severely limits access to larger growth stage loans. Government support is skewed towards startups and small ticket amounts only. Okay, so severely limits access to larger growth stage loans and government support is skewed towards the startup and small tickets amount. So choto amount to they can easily get, and government mostly is supporting the startups. Systematic biases and risk aversion. Financial institutions biases seeing women as a less risk taking and weaker negotiator. So that is another factor जो financial institutions are not giving any loan, lead to higher interest rates and rejections even with similar credentials. कारण ସେମାନେ ଭାବୁଛନ୍ତି कि भाई business ଚାଲିବ ନ ଚାଲିବ risk ନେଇଛନ୍ତି, ସେମାନେ କେତେ strong to take a risk, so better do not approve the loan. ये भी गोटे factor रहुଛି. And second factor, weaker negotiator. Okay, RBI notes low female labor force participation. 32.8% versus 77 male contributes limited financial inclusion. This is another factor. Okay, female labor force participation since is low, so financial inclusion is low in case of female. That could be another factor. जो पाएंगे सेमान को ठीक से क्रेडिट मिलू नाई. Financial literacy and formalization gap. Many women-led businesses are unregistered or informal, excluding them from the formal finance. So basically, जोटा हमरो SSG गुड़ी को होची, they are not formal. They are simply operating at an informal basis at the rural India. Okay. Digital and financial literacy is limited. Mere 14% access to formal training, with only 17.6% using the digital tools. This is another aspect. Digitally या financial tools को भी समाने use करू नांती. That means one way you can say the demand side for the loan is poor. I mean एमानंको side रू सते demand नाही loan पाए. If government is coming at their doorstep, that is different. So that would be considered as the supply side. Okay, माने सरकार कहते लोन दबा को चाहूँचे. But from their side, it is very poor because of this poor literacy, poor digital penetration, etc., etc. Underutilized and mismatched scheme. Those schemes like Mudra, Stand Up India, and CGTMSC, other benefits, they primarily focus on the start of credit, 10 lakh ru 1 crore parjanto, and do not target establish MSMEs needing growth capital. Okay, MSMEs needing growth capital in the sense, हमें simply कोई पड़े कि जो small scale industries गुड़ी को capital जो require कुछ सेमान तंकु न देगी या women led organization को न देगी, सेमाने generally startups जो गुड़ी को अपने देखिए जो startups रो potential होची could be जोटा अपन unicorn company ही पर तो सेमान को अधिका है माने दो चंदी कौन लो. Women often unaware the job scheme or perceive them as inaccessible. बहुत women अच्छी जो मन को जोड़ा ही नहीं scheme किसी exist करूँची and they can benefit from this. Way forward, bridging the credit divide, collateral free. अपन को mortgage free करेगा को पड़ेगा because they are not with any kind of asset, so that they can keep in bank and get the loan. So this is what we have to do. Cash flow lending. Lenders should embrace cash flow based appraisals over collateral, supported by RBI's recent directive. माने collateral दरकार नहीं, but अपन को business केमती चल जाए, cash flow केमती हो जाए, अपन को saving केमती अच्छे bank रे. On that basis, bank can extend a loan to that venture. Tailored financial products. design women-centric suits like sachet loan, variable repayment schedules, and digital-based credits. That means women-centric या women-friendly system develop करिपारिबा. Sachet loans in the sense कि जेमती हमें कहूचे कि suppose जेमती wallet आपण suppose किसी digital mode payment use करूचंदी. आजिकल जमी आसला सपोज आप क्रेड यूज कर क्रेड आपको लोन दवा स्टार्ट कला आप म्यूचुअल फंड रे इन्वेस्ट कर थ्रू म्यूचुअल फंड अल्सो यू कैन गेट ए लोन सो सिमिलर काइंड ऑफ वुमेन सेंट्रिक वुमेन जोटी जोटी सेविंग कर काइंड ऑफ जो जगह से फाइनेंशियल ट्रांजैक्शंस कर दैट बेसिस दे कैन बी एक्सटेंडेड द लोन एक्सपैंडेड क्रेडिट गारंटी स्कीम इंक्रीज फीमेल स्पेसिफिक गारंटीज कवरेज beyond 5 crore and raise awareness. So female specific guarantee coverage भी अपन को दवा को पड़ेगा. Enhance financial literacy and formalization, scaling of financial literacy center, RBI's 2400 block level centers and simply Udyam or SIDBI's Udyami Mitra digital portal. Okay, SIDBI जोटा अपन को रची जिंदी small scale industrial development bank of India. So तार जो initiative है Udyami Mitra, under that also we can extend the loan. Leverage fintech and digital lending. Promote unsecured digital credit models via trades and fintech relying on transactions and behavioral data. Exactly जिनसे हम अपन को कहली कि unsecured digital जमती suppose अपन को किसी गोटे एजेंसी अच्छी अपन को ऑफर करूची 10 लाख 5 लाख 2 लाख 3 लाख बट से अपन को कोई मॉर्गेज मांगने एप्लीकेशन रे क्लिक कले इमीडिएटली दे विल गिव यू द लोन अमाउंट सो सिमिलर काइंड ऑफ इजी क्रेडिट फैसिलिटी कैन बी डन स्ट्रेंथनिंग मेंटरशिप एंड मार्केट एक्सेस एक्सपैंड मेंटरशिप प्रोग्राम स्टार्टअप इंडिया हर विकास incubators and e-marketplace access through platforms like government e-marketplace. That means better marketing opportunities for those women-led ventures and seman को mentorship यानी कि एटा जमती आपण देखिबे ओडिशा सरकार कोन करछंदी प्रति ब्लॉक रे गोटे एसएसजी कोऑर्डिनेटर रखिछन दैट कुड बी ए गुड एग्जांपल यू कैन गिव SSG coordinator. What is the role of the SSG coordinator? That coordinator's work is to observe, monitor all those things and banks सहित सेमानकर टाई अप अछि जो माने कि बेटर परफॉर्मिंग एसएसजी गुडी को सेमान को लोन भी दिया जाउछि. म्यांमार एथनिक क्राइसिस देखिबा nearly 4,000 Chin refugees fled to Mizoram's Champai district over a few days, crossing at Jokhaothar, Bafai and Saikumphai, fleeing intense clashes between Chin National Defense Force and Chin Land Defense Force Hwalgoram in Myanmar Chin state. तो चीन स्टेट जोटा अच्छी आपनकर म्यांमार रो सेठी किछि जो फैक्शनिस्ट ग्रुप अछि ए जो डिफरेंट ग्रुप गुडी को जेतु सेठी इंटेंस डिस्प्यूट या कॉन्फ्लिक्ट सिचुएशन अछि तेनु किछि जेमती सिविल वॉर रे रिफ्यूजी थांदे ना सेही टाइप रो एठी चीन स्टेट रो बहुत गुडे रिफ्यूजी से माने आसीबा स्टार्ट कर चलेनी म्यांमार रो. Over 3,000 refugees are sheltering in homes, schools and community halls. NGOs and जो अपन करो जो agencies गुडी को civil society, they have extended crucial local support. Mizoram authorities are undertaking biometric enrollment for approximately 33,000 Myanmar refugees, including Chin refugees from prior influxes to establish identity without deportation. गोटे टाइम रे म्यांमार रो जो आपनकर रोहिंग्या क्राइसिस भी हमको देखिबा को मिलथला रोहिंग्या क्राइसिस. तो क्वेश्चन आसे कि रोहिंग्या कम्युनिटी इज रिलेटेड टू व्हिच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग कंट्री. तो सिमिलर काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन यू कैन एक्सपेक्ट हियर कि जो चीन स्टेट अछि तार जो चीन स्टेट रो जो सिविल वॉर रिलेटेड चीन रिफ्यूजीज को कंट्री सहित एसोसिएट. रीजनल एथनिक डायनामिक्स चीन्स एंड मिजोस कारण मिजोराम को ही बेसी आसुचंदी. मिजोस शेयर डीप एथनिक कल्चरल एंड लिंग्विस्टिक टाइज पार्ट ऑफ द जो कम्युनिटी जेमती श्रीलंका तमिलियन और तमिलनाडु तमिलियन दे हैव एथनिक सिमिलरिटी. बंगाल बांग्लादेश जेमती देखिबे सिमिलरली जो कम्युनिटी यानी कि मिजोरम एंड चीन. अर्लियर स्पिल ओवर्स हैव लेड ओवर 40,000 Chin refugees in Mizoram since 2021 Myanmar coup जो मिलिटरी कूप यानी कि डेमोक्रेटिक गवर्नमेंट को हटे कि मिलिटरी रूल स्टार्ट हितला. Rising friction, some locals council and YMA have issued orders restricting refugees movement, access to public health benefits. Despite this, only 4% of the state arrest and involved Myanmar nationals, undermining communal सस्पिशियन तेणु किसी बेनिफिट्स यानी सेल्टर से मन को दिया जाउची आउ किसी से मन को 4% स्टेट अरेस्ट पे मध्य करा जाइची जोटा कि जोठी की सस्पेक्ट आम रोची कम्युनल टेंशन से जगह रे हमको मैनेज करबा को पड़िबो क्राइसिस देखिबा ह्यूमैनिटेरियन अर्जेंट रिलीफ एंड शेल्टर बायोमेट्रिक्स फॉर आइडेंटिफाई रिकॉग्निशन लॉ एंड ऑर्डर low refugee crime rates but perception driven restrictions that means could be suspected जोटा हमें कहूँ ना इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी राइट इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी खास करके नॉर्थ ईस्ट डिवीजन इफ यू सी द होल एथनिक कन्फ्लिक्ट देखा जीवार भी चांसेस अच्छी जदि समान को ठीक से अकोमोडेट न करागला मैनेज न करागला एथनिक आइडेंटिटी सेट जो हेरिटेज वर्सेस इमर्जिंग सोशल टेंशन security geopolitical conflict spillover rebel state building cross border diplomacy state center nexus Assam Rifles managing the border Mizoram 6 central support for the refugee governance or it's a strain on the existing resources as well such a huge number is coming so obviously it's a challenge for the existing resources rule revision देखिबा सुप्रीम कोर्ट और इलेक्शन कमीशन को नहीं Election Commission of India ordered a special intensive revision of Bihar's electoral rules on June 24 ahead of the assembly election expected later in the year. About 8 crore voters in the state are covered with approximately 4 crore required to submit new documentation despite having voted previously. Let me explain this. टोटल 8 कोटी आपनकर अछंती कोन वोटर्स बिहार रे 4 कोटींकर आइडेंटिफिकेशन सरीची एंड 4 करोड्स वोटर्स दे हैव बीन आस्क्ड टू तांकर फ्रेश डॉक्यूमेंट सबमिट करेबे ओके कि कार वोटर आईडी कार्ड अछि ना नहीं तबे बाकी जो पेटिशनर माने अछंती से माने कहले कि भाई अदर आइडेंटिफिकेशन जंती अछि जंती आधार हो या वोटर आईडी हो तो सेठी मैनेज होई जिवो वेरीफाई करबा पई बट इलेक्शन कमिशन इज सेइंग नो सेटा हमें एक्सेप्ट करि पारिबु नाही आधार एवं वोटर आईडी को जेहेतु अलाउ करा जाऊ नाही तेबे डेफिनेटली 4 करोड़ वोटर विल बी डिफ्रांचाइज दैट मींस से माने वोट देई परिबे नाही सो टू एक्सेप्ट दैट से माने पीआईएल फाइल करिसंदी ये गोटे ग्रुप पीआईएल कोन करचंदी फाइल करिसंदी पिटिशनर माने ओके एक तो इट अंडरमाइन्स द डेमोक्रेटिक राइट्स ओके कारण आपण एक्सेप्ट करू नांती इंश्योरिंग फ्री एंड फेयर इलेक्शन को चैलेंज करूची कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल वैलिडिटी ऑफ एसआईआर वेदर द ईसीआई can mandate such a large scale overall mid cycle is under judicial scrutiny at a constitutionally valid na nahi administrative feasibility with half of the electorate 4 to 5 crores under pressure to re-enroll within week a genuine voters risk being excluded एवं बहुत गुड़े बिहार रा migrants माने बाहर रहउचंदी again they have to come for the voting plus ता पूर्व आसे कि समान को enroll भी करबा को पड़िबो this is quite a challenging task for ECI plus others as well. So generally the motive is to exclude this number of voters. The Supreme Court's ruling could govern future role revision processes ahead of elections elsewhere. यानी कि आउ further केबे कोठी हुए so it could be an example. Odisha related देखिबा ASI declares Swapneshwar Mahadev Temple in Khordha as protected monument मन रखते protected monument under the Ancient Monuments and Archaeological Site Remains Act 1958, ASI officially declared the 6th century Swapneshwar Mahadev Temple as a protected monument via Gazette notification on 2nd July 2025. It has the historic heritage kono na Sailabhava dynasty ko द्वारा 6th to 18th century रे एटा को build करा जाइतला. So एटा होची आपनकर कोठी ना पंजियामा village बाणपुर block नीलाद्री प्रसाद पंचायत खोर्धा district. Okay. Cultural identity safeguard, proud movement for the Odia identity and it will be protected and से area को properly आपनकर develop करा जिवो कारण एटा को एभली अवस्था रे कोन त कोंदी जराजीर्ण अवस्था रे जेहेतु अछि it will be overhauled by the government. Odisha sprinter Animes Kujar Satter's record in Greece meet that is breakthrough performance at the Dromia International Sprint and Relays meeting in Bari, Athens. Animes Kujar clocked 10.18 second, becoming the first Indian ever to break the 10.20 second barrier in the 100-meter sprint. Okay, ये होचंती ओडिशा स्प्रिंटर Animes Kujar. ठीक अछि. Odisha Singhari Ghumra dance still show at the Indian festival in Moscow. A troupe from Odisha showcased mesmerizing blend of tribal singari and martial Ghumura dances in the Indian festival Moscow. Singari combines 5 tribal folk forms including Ghumura, while pure Ghumura is a warrior dance जोटा कि हमें कौन को जो मिलिटरी मार्शियल ट्रेडिशन बोली कहूँ कहार कलाहांडी जिलार मन रखते घुमरा डांस मार्शियल आर्ट फॉर्म ऑफ द कलाहांडी डिस्ट्रिक्ट ओके फाइन बाकी फीचर्स गुड़िक अच्छे आप देखने एमसीक्यूज सॉल्व करंतु फटाफट फर्स्ट आंसर कौन हम The temple is located in Punjiyama village of Banapur block, Purushottamapur district. Obviously no. Okay, wrong. So ACD आपनकर आंसर हबो. ACD only. Next देखिबा. Animes Kujar. आंसर कौन हबो आपनकर? First Indian. Okay. Event in Greece. Already held the national 200-meter record. So A and C only. D be incorrect. घुमरा इज हिस्टोरिकली वॉर डांस मार्शियल जोटा में कहूचे सिंगारी नाच फ्यूजेस एग्जैक्टली 5 डांस फॉर्म बोथ घुमरा एंड सिंगारी नाचो have been performed internationally prior to Moscow. Ghumra is traditionally performed exclusively by the women during the harvest festival. So ABC apankaro correct. Okay. Clear? बाकी ये होची आपनकर मेंस क्वेश्चन ताको कवर करि नेबे लिखिबे मध्य ECI ऊपर इलेक्शन कमीशन प्लस आपनकर SMEs women. ओके तो 7 जुलाई हमरो काली टू बैच स्टार्ट हे जे आरंभ 5.0 जो माने फाउंडेशन बैच रे जॉइन करबा को चाहउछंती से माने एनरोल करि परिबे कारण जुलाई रो जुलाई पूरा कंप्लीट 1 ईयर अछि आपन को पाखरे प्रिपेयर करबा पई 2026 रे प्रीलिम्स आपनकर ऑर्गेनाइज हबो ओके तेणु पूरा कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव मैनर सिलेबस जदि कवर करेंगे तो आप आरंभ बैच को जॉइन करेंगे ये आपको नोट्स मिलेबो रेगुलर टेस्ट अच्छी एसे एनरिचमेंट सेशन मेंटरशिप सपोर्ट अच्छी एंड बेसिकली एटा होची इंग्लिश एंड हिंदी बैच जदि आपको किसी प्रॉब्लम नहीं यू कैन जॉइन इट हिंदी रे किसी आपको इंग्लिश रे नोट्स तो मिल जिवो कंप्लीट नोट्स कोनोसी सोर्सेस किनिबा दरकार नहीं सबुठ बड़ पार्ट होची 12+ टेस्ट सीरीज एठी फ्री में आपको मिलिबो ओडिसा रिलेटेड क्लासेस भी हबो फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट रे जदि आपण प्रीलिम्स क्लियर करि नेबे तो आपनको फी कंप्लीट रिफंड आपनको मिल जिवो ओके तो एटा भी मन रखिबे सो पीडीएफ आपनको टेलीग्राम रे मिल जिवो फेसबुक इंस्टा रे मते आपण फॉलो करि परिबे जो माने वीडियो कमेंट रे पचारछन सर मु कथा होबा को चाहूची या डिस्कस करबा को चाहूची रिगार्डिंग योर प्रिपरेशन आपण मते टेलीग्राम रे एक्सेस करि परिबे फेसबुक रे भी एक्सेस करि परिबे इंस्टा रे भी एक्सेस करिबे जोठी भी आपण चाहिले एक्सेस करि परिबे वी कैन डिस्कस ओके सो माने रीचेबल रीच करबा इट्स नॉट दैट डिफिकल्ट तो मु सेत पय तीनटा मोड देछि जोठी भी आपण कंफर्टेबल जे जोठी भी अछन दे कैन सिंपली स्पीक टू मी ओके तो ये थला आज सेशन हमें देखावा नेक्स्ट सेशन रे थैंक यू वेरी मच